Jimmy Summerville, Wan-Bissaka and Niclas Füllkrug. I don't have a nickname yet. Maybe you can help me out. We'll get one. I was rather hoping to bring you this transfer update with some solid news that West Ham had signed on those three players. I've been waiting for a couple of hours, and there is an update, but I'll tell you now, spoiler alert, we haven't signed any one of them just yet. But Crysencio Summerville has passed his West Ham medical. Good news, right? But it came with a sort of cryptic post by Florian Plettenberg. Now, Plettenberg, just in case you don't know, he's basically the German version of Damesh Chef. He's the Sky Germany transfer guru. That's the guy, you know, when Sky Sports News stops and the geezer walks into the studio, he's got 2 or 3 mobile phones and he's telling you what's going on, the latest breaking transfer deals. That's Plettenberg, just a German version, as I say, a Damesh Chef. He's got an awful lot of West Ham stuff right in this transfer window, it must be said. And so far be it from me to call him out on this one, his latest update. You know, everyone could get things wrong, can't they? I said the other day, there's no way West Ham will sign Füllkrug. It just didn't make any sense to me. But anyway, there we go. So, but he's turned around and he said that Summerville has passed his West Ham medical, but sort of not to get ahead of ourselves, that West Ham have not agreed personal terms with the player. And we've not agreed terms with Leeds United. And I'm thinking, oh, hold on, cheeky. I don't know if... I wouldn't accuse him of scaremongering. I just can't see it. I have to be honest. And as I say, I've already been wrong once in the last few days. I could very easily be wrong twice. But would Leeds United really let a player travel down from Leeds to Redbridge for a medical? I heard he did... Well, apparently he's passed his medical. I heard he's gone for his medical. He went and had a quick look at the training ground, and then he's getting on the plane and going over to America. Right? That's what I think the news was. And even Plettenberg himself, who's sort of poo-pooing the deal a little bit, has admitted that that's happened. Why would Leeds let their best player last season, 20 goals in all competitions, 9 assists as well, Championship Player of the Year, blah-de-blah-de-blah, brilliant, excellent player, skillful, tricky-dicky, all of that stuff, right? Brilliant. Why would they let him travel down if there was no agreement in place? Look, there either is an agreement in place or it's so close it ain't even worth talking about. It's the sort of deal where they say, yeah, okay, that's agreed. Right, a couple of little bits of admin here and there. Do you know what? Deal's done. Travel down. We'll deal with the paperwork while he's travelling down. I mean, that's the sort of thing I'm expecting, right? As for no agreement with the player, I'm just sort of poo-pooing Plettenberg's story, but apologies. He probably doesn't watch his video at all, does he? I'm quite safe ground. But if you are, Mr. Plettenberg, I do apologise, sir. I think, well, Summerville himself is just going to agree to the terms, isn't he? I mean, I don't really understand what the situation would be. Again, if he's decided that he's going to travel down, if he's decided he wants Premier League football, if West Ham have already agreed terms with him, spoken to his representatives, all this stuff was done. Fabrizio Romano had even said, he tweeted, West Ham have been working behind the scenes on this deal for a few days. Romano said West Ham had done an amazing job. We've done all this. This stuff is all done. So I'm not sure. I'm just saying... I think chill out on this one. I certainly am. I think he's going to be a West Ham player, and we'll see him holding up his West Ham speedos in front of the camera very, very soon. He'll be off on that plane over to America. Will he feature against Crystal Palace? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how these time zones work. So, I mean, because maybe he's going to America, he's travelling back in time. So maybe once he's flown in the plane back to America, it's probably, I think, we play Crystal Palace on Saturday, but maybe if he travels back in time on the plane, it's probably Sunday now, but he'll have plenty of time to prepare. That's what I'm saying over there. Wan-Bissaka, deal's close, apparently, but honestly, the news keeps changing on that one. It really does. After time you read that all the personal terms have been done, the other time you're hearing that actually it's not, the personal terms are not done, but the agreement with Manchester United is there. I don't know. Truth of the matter is, I could probably show you 10 articles saying one, 10 articles showing you the other. I think it's close. I really do. And I think Man United probably do need to sell the player, and they don't want him to run his contract down. I think he probably has agreed to come to West Ham, and I think he'd be a decent signing. I really do. You know what? Everyone's first choice? No, possibly not even Lopetegui's first choice, but I think there's one thing we've learned in this window: you ain't necessarily always getting your first choice. At centre back, he got his first choice, brilliant, and maybe that's not going to be the case with this. But the other thing, Jota Silva, the Portuguese Jack Grealish, he's gone to Nottingham Forest. So the story was on this one, we were still interested in him up until Monday, when it became clear that we probably would get Summerville, which is obviously what Fabrizio Romano was alluding to. So he basically, I think apparently he was holding out for a deal with West Ham. He's now going to, he signed for Nottingham Forest. So that's really well. I'm saying that's really good. I don't know who it's good for. Good for Nottingham Forest. Probably good for Jota Silva, possibly good for Jack Grealish. Imagine those, like Jack Grealish might get events and sponsorship stuff he's got to do, and he won't be able to do all of them. Do you know what I mean? Like appearances, cutting the ribbon and stuff, launch parties. He can probably outsource some of that stuff now. I'm thinking to Jota Silva. It's basically like the poor man's Jack Grealish. Wouldn't it be funny next season if the poor man's Jack Grealish outscores Jack Grealish? Yeah, not to be confused with Diego Jota, who was the George Michael lookalike, who was but that was a shame. I thought that was a massive shame that we didn't quite manage to get him over the line. But anyway, what else have we got? Oh yeah, of course, Niclas Füllkrug. Now I don't know what the hell's going on here. I really don't. I mentioned the other day, I thought, no, this can't be happening. I just thought it was a load of BS to make Aston Villa turn around and say, all right, if you're going to sign him, then you can have Duran for your 38 million or whatever it was. I thought this was just there to flush out the deal with Aston Villa. Well, it turns out not. Even Plettenberg, we're back to him again. Even Plettenberg said a few days ago, this ain't happening. Plettenberg said, and he is the German correspondent, as I said, at Sky Germany, he said that Füllkrug didn't even want to come. He was happy in Germany. He did not want to move to England. That's what he said. So I thought, there's nothing in this. Well, honestly, we hear there's conflicting reports. Some are saying he's flown over here. Some are saying he's still in training with Dortmund in Switzerland. Sky News, the British version, are reporting the deal is close with Füllkrug. I didn't think honestly, I thought it was a load of old nonsense. So I'm as surprised as anyone that this deal is getting done. I really am. But maybe, just maybe. And by the way, I'm not. If he signs, I'm all for it. If it turns out we're going to sign him, but we're also signing young players as well, then that's fine. That's fine. I just feel there's been, a bit of a tactical shift maybe in terms of our purchasing with regard to a striker. We were going for a completely different type of striker to what we were going for. But maybe, just maybe, it did. Maybe it's the truth. Maybe the truth is what's right, and I'm just too cynical. Maybe the price Aston Villa were asking for was just too rich for West Ham. And actually, we did actually officially withdraw from negotiations. It wasn't a ploy. It wasn't smoke and mirrors. When we said, right, that's it, we're going to go. If you don't take the 37 million, we're going, and we went. Maybe that's just what happened, and we did go. Maybe, just maybe, us agreeing to deal with Füllkrug means that gave us the extra bit of funds to purchase Summerville, who was 25 million, something like that, rather than, I think it would have been something like 10 million euros, including the add-ons, for the Portuguese of Jack Grealish. So maybe the saving we made on the striker allowed us to buy a better winger. Maybe they give us a bit more money for the centre-back. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm guessing. Listen, it's all guesswork at the moment, quite frankly. It really is. And I speculate, and I am sorry. I do humbly apologise, Mr. Plettenberg. I would humbly suggest that I think he's guessing a little bit on this one, because it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense that Summerville would travel to Redbridge to have his medical, get stripped down to his underpants, have all of the electrical stuff all stuck over on him, be monitored, run up and down on a treadmill. You don't run up and down on a treadmill, you just run. Just run on a treadmill. There's no up or down unless you've got one of them funky ones. They probably have. He's done his rowing machine. He's done his stuff. You've seen the elastic bands. So at West Ham training on the videos, they've all got elastic bands. They're all pulling elastic bands and tying elastic bands around each other. This is novel stuff. You didn't get that on Moisey, that's for sure. It's more Velcro under the Moisey. He's been at it again, by the way. Moisey. I'm not going to actually. I'll tell you now. I'm not going to do a separate video on it. It's not fair. The Moisey. I'll tell you what he said. He started again. He did a podcast with Simon Jordan. Said, I don't know what the West Ham way is. Oh, mate, leave it out. Why'd you keep piping up? Let it go, son. And people keep saying, why do people keep being mean to Moisey? He needs to stop it. Honestly, he's trolling. He's trolling at the moment. He keeps saying the same thing. I've never known West Ham have as much success and all the rest of it. Look, let's get this absolutely right. Yeah, he does know what the West Ham way is. And look, it's different for everyone, right? I'll tell you what it is for me, right? But he gets the general gist. Growing up, John Lyle teams, it was attacking football and players coming through from the academy, ideally. A few local lads, and there's the West Ham way, right? For most people, it'd be the same. Keeping the ball on the deck, so on and so forth. Started off with Greenwood, continue with John Lyle. It's not rocket science. You could explain it. I think I just have. I think you could explain it to any fan of any other football team in 30 seconds. I get it. So how David Moyes has managed to be at West Ham for, both stints, basically like over 5 years, and not got it. He knows, basically. David Moyes knows what the West Ham way is. He just doesn't want to say it. That's the thing. That's the thing, because if he says it, he's going to get asked if he was able to deliver that. As for this thing that West Ham and he'd never known West Ham have success, look, I am grateful to David Moyes for the trophy win, right? But let's be fair, there were a lot of West Ham managers who managed the club at times where English teams were banned from Europe. And even if they weren't banned from Europe, only three clubs were getting into European competition, right? There have been a lot of managers who, had they been around, right, would have been able to get a little, it would have been differently. There's definitely times where West Ham managers have finished in the top 7 and not qualified for Europe because it's just easier to get into Europe now. And I don't mean that to demean what old Moisey has done. No, far from it. But I don't think it's a fair comparison. I really don't. If it always forevermore, the top 7 almost was top 8 this year, wasn't it? The top 7 teams in the top division had qualified for Europe, then we'd have been in Europe a lot more, of course. There you go. I just don't know why he does. Honestly, I just wish, when he's asked it, and Jordan's not naughty, he's just doing his job. I don't know why Moyes just doesn't say, I don't want to, leave it. I know where this goes, it's all right. Leave it. I don't want to talk about that stuff. Say something nice. I don't know. Anyway. There you go. Right, anyway, I'm off to upload this now because I wouldn't be surprised if by the time I finished editing this damn thing, West Ham was... Actually, that's fine. I wouldn't mind at all. If I have to redo it and come back and redo all this, go, hey, West Ham has signed somebody. Jimmy Summerville signed it. Whammy signed. Niclas Füllkrug. I'm still suspicious. I am. I know he's signing because everyone else says he is. But... he's the one. If one of them was going to fall through, maybe it'd be that one.